Hello and welcome, I'm Ken Gowdy from Saxophone Comprehensive, and in this video I will look at the Reedjuvinate reed storage system. It's been out for some time, but there has been some slight modifications to it. I have already looked at the Diodario humidification reed storage system, which is a reed storage system that holds 8 reeds and comes with a humidity pack that will keep the reeds at a constant humidity of 72%. So if you want to know more about that product, you can watch my video on it. The Reedjuvinate, by contrast, is a more compact reed storage system that comes in black or orange and can hold up to 3 bari, tenor or alto saxophone reeds or 3 clarinet reeds, with space for an additional 2 soprano clarinet reeds or 2 additional soprano saxophone reeds. It is designed to be waterproof due to its rubber gasket and waterproof cap. It has a lanyard so it can be worn around the neck and a magnet inside the case so that it can stick to metal surfaces such as chair legs or music stands, etc. for easy access. If you were to disassemble it, you would find 2 clarinet clips used to give the additional spaces for the soprano reeds. However, if you are using it to store bari, tenor or alto saxophone reeds, these clips should be removed. Next, you will find the 3 any reed clips, which are color-coded red, blue and white. So the 3 reeds can be organized either by reed type or the quality of the reeds. In the middle of the case is a sponge in a long triangular shape. There is also a magnet within a small plastic zip bag. The zip bag prevents the magnet getting in contact with the Listerine and as such prevents it from discoloring the inside of the case. This is a new feature and is probably why there are now only 2 clarinet clips. Obviously you can use the product with the magnet or take it out. The manufacturer suggests that only the original Formula Listerine mouthwash, the yellow coloured one, should be used as this contains 30% ethanol plus other chemicals and was the only mouthwash that the product was tested with. As you're aware, there are other Listerine mouthwashes, but they may contain sweeteners and other chemicals that are harmful to the reeds. When the Reedjuvinate first came on the market, original Listerine was widely available, but today it has been discontinued in various countries. And so you may have to get it imported from countries such as the United States or Canada where it's still widely available. I contacted Reedjuvinate through their website and they suggested getting the original Listerine through Amazon or eBay. They also mentioned that some of their customers prefer to use unflavoured vodka as a substitute, which contains 40% ethanol. But since the product was not tested with this substance, they cannot promise the same results as using the original Listerine. When soaking the sponge, the reeds should not be in the case. This also applies to topping up the sponge when the liquid dries out, which should be done on a monthly basis. The sponge is wetted by pouring a little of the Listerine onto the sponge, waiting a few seconds for the Listerine to soak into the sponge, then throwing out the excess liquid. Here I'm going to use vodka, which I placed in a small container. The reeds are placed in the clips, tipped down with a flat part facing inwards. You should leave enough of the reeds sticking out about 1 centimetre in order to get hold of the reeds. The idea is that the Listerine stays in the sponge away from the reeds, which are separated from the sponge by their clips. That way the reeds are not saturated with the liquid, but still benefit from the properties of the original Listerine. As you can see, the any reed clips are much longer than the tenor reed shown here, so there is no way of crushing the tip of the reed on the base of the case if you push it in too far. Once the cap is on, new reeds should stay within the case for 24 hours before use to become humidity stabilized. As the liquid is in the sponge, it doesn't matter whether the case is standing up or lying down on its side. As with all products, you have the manufacturer's recommendations, which are based upon laboratory testing, in this case with original Listerine. If you want to know what kind of test they've done, you could check it out on their website. In contrast, you have the user's recommendations, and this is based upon their own preference and years of using this product. So here are some of the ways how users have used this product. Now, depending on how saturated they want their reeds to be, will determine how they actually soak the sponge. So starting with little saturation, you have some users that will take the sponge out, soak it in Listerine and wring out the Listerine before replacing the sponge. Then there are those that will take out the sponge, soak it in Listerine, hold it up, allow the Listerine to drip out and then return the sponge. You have those that follow the manufacturer's recommendation and will pour out the excess from the case. Then you have those that do not pour out the excess, so there is still Listerine floating around in the case. And for those that want their reeds to be fully saturated, then they'll obviously pour more Listerine into the case and leave it in there to swirl around and saturate their reeds. As I said before, original Listerine may not be available in your country, and if it's not, then you're going to have to find some substitute. Some users will use unflavoured vodka or gin, but I suppose any unflavoured alcohol will do the trick. Some have suggested using hydrogen peroxide. Now, you probably know that hydrogen peroxide 3% food grade is a product that is used for cleaning reeds. There have been various good reviews about this product, and if you're going to buy a reed storage system, you probably have some criteria already in your mind. Some people buy reed storage systems because they play many instruments and they want something that's going to hold many reeds. Or maybe they want something more compact like this. Maybe they only play one instrument. Maybe they want something that will keep the reeds sterile so that there's no buildup of bacteria or mold, or that your saliva enzymes will not break down the reed. Some may want to keep the reed at a constant humidity in order to break the wet-dry cycle, which causes the reed to warp or crack. But whatever criteria you have in mind, then you're going to have to try and work out whether this product fits those criteria. Lastly, let me say thank you for watching this video. Hopefully it was helpful and informative. And if it was, then give it a like as usual and share it with your friends. And if you're not yet a subscriber, then consider subscribing to this channel. And if you do have this product, then maybe write a comment and tell us how you actually use it, what kind of method you use to actually soak your sponge. And I shall see you soon in the next video. Stay safe. Bye-bye.